In this lesson, I will show you how to create a new Compose project in Android Studio. For best experience with Compose, it is recommended to use the latest Canary version of this IDE, as I am currently doing. This is the latest Canary version of Android Studio that I am using. Arctic Fox Canary 8. Alright. Let's get started with creating a new project that has initial support for Jetpack Compose. To create a new project, I select New Project, and then on the next window there are several items and templates for the new project. I select Empty Compose Activity because we want to create a Compose activity, a Compose application. I select it and press Next. In the next form, we fill in the information about our Compose application. For example, for its name, I select a name like my first Compose app. The package name can be anything as long as it's a valid Java package name. You can name it, for example, com.example.myapp or something similar. And then for save location, I specified the location for this course. And then for the save location, I save the project in the directory for this course. So I'm gonna edit this to compose course, the directory for holding the code for this course, and then the language is Kotlin because it's the only language that we use to work with Compose UI and Jetpack Compose. And minimum SDK, make sure that you at least select API 21 because it is the minimum API of Android that supports Jetpack Compose. Alright, I press finish and wait until the project is created in Android Studio. Alright, our project is created, and you see that by default Android Studio has added several composables, and one of them is a preview so that we can preview the UI that we are designing in Android Studio, the UI that is included inside this composable. If you look at the Gradle scripts for this project, you will see that the Compose dependencies have been added by Android Studio. For example, here in the build.gradle file for the app module, you see a list of dependencies for Compose, like Compose UI, Compose Material, UI Tooling, and also Activity Compose, and so on. Also, there are some options that have been used for Compose. For example, here in Build Features, Compose has been enabled, and there are some other sections that are related to Compose. We don't need to worry about them because Android Studio has done everything necessary to create the Compose project for us. We go back to our main activity, and if you rebuild the project once, the preview will be enabled because when you initially create the project, sometimes it doesn't work, it doesn't show you the preview, given the fact that this version of Android Studio is Canary and it might contain some bugs. So if we build this again, we will be able to see the preview. So I press this build button and I wait until a complete build of the project is complete, and then the preview of the UI will appear. It didn't work again. I close the main activity file and reopen it. This might solve the problem. Yeah, once you reopen main activity or the file that contains your preview function, the preview will start to appear in its special place on the right side of the screen. Alright, we have our preview. But that's not the point. I just wanted to show you how to create a new project in Android Studio that has initial support for Compose. So easy, huh? Don't worry, because I have more difficult stuff coming in the next lessons.